Imagine you are walking down the street and you look down at your lovely new shoes that you just bought a few days ago. Have you ever given any thought about how your shoes were made? There is someone you will thank after this presentation for your new shoes, and that man is Jan Matzeliger. Matzeliger was born on September 15th, 1862, and was born in Suriname, South America. At the time of his birth, Jan's father was a Dutch engineer working for the government of Suriname. His father, Ernest Matzeliger, also owned and operated the colonial shipworks that had been in his family for 3 generations. His mother, Aletta, was of Suriname descent and worked at the same plantation his father operated. As a child, Jan showed great willingness and ability in repairing broken things when visiting his father's works. At the age of 19, he left Suriname and worked as a mechanic on an Indian merchant ship for several years, allowing him to travel the world before settling in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Jan spoke very little English upon arrival in Pennsylvania, but with his mechanical skills, he remained employed. He began to work with a local cobbler and began his interest in the shoe trade. His new interest would take him to Lynn, Pennsylvania, the capital of shoemaking at the time. He was a sewing machine operator and apprentice in the shoe factory. Special shoe sewers called lasters were held in high regard. The job of a laster was to sew the upper part of the shoe to the sole of the shoe. This allowed lasters to charge more money for their craftsmanship because their job was so important. This drove the prices of shoes to go up. Only 50 pairs of shoes could be made in a day. Jan studied English in his free time, as well as the subjects of physics and the mechanical science. Jan often dreamt about inventing a machine that would sew the upper part of the shoe to the sole, a dream that would become a reality later. Jan invented multiple machines that were unfortunately stolen by other inventors who profited off of them. A reality that was far too common for the melanated inventors. He quietly stayed focused on his goal of creating his shoe machine, so his misfortune was not a burden to him. Despite having no money or resources, Jan stayed focused on creating his machine and relied only on materials he could find to create his machine. A shoe factory gained knowledge of his plans, and out of fear began to bash his work and discourage his inventions. He later sold 66 of the interest in the machine, which allowed him to create 2 further versions of the machine and applied for a patent. After 5 years of work, Matzeliger obtained a patent for his invention of an automated shoe laster in 1883. Matzeliger's machine could produce 700 pairs of shoes a day, cutting shoe prices across the nation in half. Shoemaking was his passion and his demise. Matzeliger sacrificed his health, working hours on his invention, and starved himself over long periods of time. This is what caused him to catch a cold very quickly, and it turned into tuberculosis. He passed away before he saw his invention's success because he died on August of 1889, 3 weeks shy from his 37th birthday. While many do not know this man, his inventions were very impactful for the world. Learning about historical figures is important because it shows how creative and innovative our people are. So when you buy your next pair of shoes, please thank Jan Matzeliger, our ancestor, for this blessing he gave us. Ashe.